We have a panel of campaign insiders joining us to take us inside the campaigns and the decisions they made and the expectations they have as the actual results start coming in. For the Manitoba PCs, we have Conservative Senator for Manitoba, Don Plett, who was an advisor for the campaign. He joins us from Ottawa. And here with me in Winnipeg, Cheryl Oates is a former Director of Communications for Alberta NDP leader Rachel Notley, but she's been helping the Manitoba NDP on debate strategy. And Roy Jemison is the Director of Communications for the Manitoba Liberal Party. All right, gang, it's good to see you all. Senator Plett, I woke up here this morning to a tremendous thunderstorm. I'm not sure what that foretells for the political fates of the PCs in Ontario. Just a couple hours before we get the results, what are your expectations of where your party's campaign is at this point?
Well, my wife told me about the thunderstorm, David, so I heard about it. But listen, it's going to be a very, very close race tonight, I believe. The campaigns have all fought hard. I think Heather Stephenson and our team have done an incredible job of moving our party forward in the last year and a half, or that Heather has been the leader. And I'm looking forward to the results tonight. I think it will be a tight race, but nevertheless, the polls tonight are the ones that will count, and I'm optimistic that we will come out ahead.
Cheryl, the last time we spoke was in Alberta for the election there, and it was all about Calgary, and it feels similar in that it's all about Winnipeg, and the farther south the NDP can go, the better their chances are of forming government. What are your expectations tonight?
Well, just like I said in Alberta when you asked me the same question, I think every seat counts.
Sure does.
We are campaigning in every single seat, and of course there is a heavy concentration in Winnipeg, especially in those seats that the NDP has not held since, for the last 7 years at least. And the NDP is competitive in every seat across Winnipeg, and of course in seats outside of Winnipeg, because we need to flip a few seats if we want to form a majority tonight.
So, Roy Jemison, a different story for the Liberals. We had your leader on earlier today, and you've got the 3 seats, and he says he just wants to hold whoever wins to a minority so he can get the balance of power. The New Democrats are pretty strong in Winnipeg, where all of your seats are. I mean, how are you feeling in the last hours of this campaign?
We're feeling very positive, very positive. We think since Lamont's very strong performance at the debate just before advanced voting opened, really caused a shift in the campaign. We're hearing at the doors, a lot of former soft PC voters are now leaning our way. Mm-hmm. The possibility of a minority government is definitely there. We see a path. The provincial polling numbers generally don't reflect and aren't granular enough to show really what's going on at the constituency level. And we know there are a number of seats that are open for the taking. We're very confident we're going to hang on to the 3 existing seats and possibly add 1, 2, possibly 3 more. So it's yes, I agree with Senator Plett. It's going to be a very close result tonight. Perhaps not as close as we thought it was going to be a few weeks ago.
Right.
The PC party has essentially driven their tires into the ditch, and it's really changed the result. The dynamic of the tone of the campaign has really affected the outcome.
Okay, so Senator Plett, I wanted to ask you about that, the tone and some of the criticism of the way the PC campaign has been run. In particular, the ads that have come out in the dying days of this campaign saying, vote like nobody is watching. It's almost like people might be embarrassed to vote for the PCs, but you're trying to tell them it's okay. Walk me through the thought process and the strategy behind these ads.
Well, clearly, David, the ads have been effective. We have been making it clear to people what 17 years of NDP government did, and what Wab Kinew would do if he formed a government. And it is something that we needed to do from the start. As I said, Heather came through a tough time. COVID was difficult on us, and as it was on every government in the country. And so she's done a good job, and we did a lot of advertising, letting people know what to expect if they elect a Wab Kinew. And we have been criticized for that, but the fact of the matter is I do not believe that there has been anything said that isn't something that the people of Manitoba absolutely needed to hear.
Senator, what about the ads on the landfill voting to stand firm, to make that such a central point of the campaign? Well, why do you think the Stephenson campaign made that choice?
Well, I'm not sure that I agree that it was a central part of the campaign. Clearly, we advertised, or didn't advertise, said we would not go and dig up the landfill for very clear reasons that the Premier pointed out. There are a lot of safety issues there. We have invested $120 million in eradicating homelessness in Manitoba. That is something we have focused on. There is no proof that these unfortunate young ladies are buried in that landfill, and we believe clearly Manitobans want us to focus on other areas of helping the homelessness, helping the Indigenous, $10 million to the very first ever Indigenous-run addiction center, $16 million to combat domestic violence. Those are the things that people need to focus on.
Cheryl, those issues, the landfill issue in particular, in the key battleground of Winnipeg, how do you think, and I don't want to make politics, out of missing and murdered women, but how do you think this issue has played in terms of affecting voter intention in this city?
Well, I think I agree with the Senator on one thing. Those ads were really effective. And they were really effective in reminding people why they don't like the PCs and reminding them that they're looking for an alternative to vote for. And I think what's most disappointing about the ads is that they didn't go at the NDP. They didn't go at the NDP leader. They leveraged the lives of families and innocent kids to try to make political gains. And I think Manitobans saw through that, and the momentum is building behind a more positive campaign and a vision of uniting Manitobans rather than dividing them.
Roy, what's your view on this issue and how it's affected the dynamics here?
I think a lot of Manitobans see those ads as frankly disgusting. It should never have been a political issue in the first place. It's a moral issue. We're talking about the graves of Indigenous women, and we're haggling over cost. Right from the outset, the Manitoba Liberal Party committed to searching the landfill, no question. And we will cover 50% of the cost, whatever that may be. Wab Kinew couldn't commit to the $184 million cost that was outlined in the frankly trumped up feasibility study. Regardless of the cost, Manitoba Liberals commit to paying 50%.
David,
okay, we're just, I'm trying to
comment on that.
Go ahead, Senator.
Please, David.
Go right ahead, sir.
The fact of the matter is, David, that the NDP and the Liberals made this a political issue. We had the Premier of Manitoba making a commitment quite some time ago, not as a campaign issue. Not as a campaign issue. This started as a promise by the Premier of Manitoba. Now, Roy says that they will pay 50% of the cost. That leaves $90 million out there for somebody else to pick up. Nobody has jumped to the pump volunteering to pay that. Now, again, this was not started as a campaign issue. This was done by the Premier of Manitoba when she was asked quite some time ago with tears in her eyes as a mother, said how sad she was about what happened, but she was had to make a responsible, very difficult choice.
On it, calling it a landfill dig. It's disgusting.
Okay, all right. I have to make a hard pivot now because I want to ask for your predictions on what you might think happened tonight after that. So, Senator, I just wonder, I assume you think your team is going to win. It takes 29 seats for a majority here in Manitoba. What do you think the PCC count will be at the end of the night?
Well, David, I'm not going to give you a count. I believe we are going to win a majority government tonight, and if we do that, we will be very happy. We are prepared to continue to govern as we have done over the last 7 years, and I think we will be able to continue to do that tomorrow.
Cheryl, are you willing to give a seat count where you think the New Democrats are going to end up this evening?
I am absolutely not willing to give a seat count, but I will say that I think there is incredible momentum behind the NDP and incredible feeling in Manitoba that people are looking for a change in government, and they see that opportunity in the NDP and Wabkanu. And I think no matter what, we're going to be extremely proud of the campaign we ran tonight.
Okay, so Roy, am I going to go 0 for 3 in trying to get a seat count prediction from this panel?
Well, prediction is an NDP government. The question is whether it will be a majority or a minority. We're very optimistic. I think we're going to regain official party status again tonight, get our 4, and possibly add a few more.
Right.
I won't go any further than that.
Okay, well, the polls don't close for another 2.5 hours, but the Roy Jemison decision desk is projecting an NDP government. We just have to wait for the counting to find out what it's going to be. I want to thank you all so much for joining us. Senator Plett in Ottawa, Cheryl Oates, and Roy Jemison here with me in Winnipeg. Thanks so much, gang.
Thank you very much.